Welcome to Me, She, and Her podcast, a guided conversation between three friends. Our song for today is It Goes Down in the DM. The key verse is Snapchat me that or FaceTime me that. Let's chat. Welcome. You are listening to the Me, She, and Her podcast, a guided conversation between three friends where we discuss business, leadership, relationship, and fitness based off song lyrics. We use our experiences, testimonies, and throw in a few jokes to bring you an entertaining view of lyrics from popular songs, old and new. Come listen in on the fun. Question: How fun and or frustrating has dating in your 30s been? What is the etiquette / rule for sliding into someone's DM? I'm gonna kick it off with my girl Summer. What shall you say?
I don't have any recollection of why I was chosen.
DM Queen.
There's no information to support that.
My phone log.
Evidence today.
Well, I think it. Okay, so let's break it up. So like you said,
Okay, yes. So let's start with the first part of the question. How fun and or frustrating has dating in your 30s been?
And I think it's been both. I think it's definitely frustrating. It has definitely been more frustrating than I thought it would be. Because when you date and your teens kind of don't count, but we'll count them. Your late teens or your early 20s or college or even right out of college, like dating is a little, you're constantly talking to different people or you're meeting different people or you're not even really thinking about doing it like marriage or something like that. I mean, you want to get married at some point, but you're just talking to people. Mm-hmm. But then when you start looking at, okay, I'm 32, I'm 33, I'm 35, and you look around,
and you solo,
and it's you,
right?
You start thinking, okay, so what did I miss? What happened? What and you start being a little creative, and you may start looking at your list or looking at things you have and making adjustments. I won't say settling, because we'll talk about that later. But I'll talk about me. I started making adjustments. I know for me, up until I was probably 33 or 4, I wouldn't date anyone with kids. Like it was a deal breaker, because I wanted to have my own family with that person. I grew up in a blended family. My stepdad was amazing. I love my stepdad. He passed away when I was younger, but I just saw how the stepchildren treated my mom. And I saw it with cousins. I saw it with other people. And I was like, I didn't want that. Right. I don't want to deal with that. So I figured, hey, look, I'll just meet somebody. We'll get married. We'll have our own little kid, our own little family. And so it was a no-go. But then I remember meeting somebody. He was just like, well, you 34. I don't know how many more guys you think older than you not going to have kids. And he almost talked me out of thinking it couldn't happen until I met some people later on.
Right, because there's a big pool of people over the 40s that don't have kids.
And that has opened my eyes.
And they want a kid.
And they do want a family.
So they tend to look younger. Younger than
30.
That's a predicament for those who are in the age range who are single.
Yes.
Right. And maybe, yes. I mean, I know when you get over the 40s or late 35, you're high risk pregnancy.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you can't
have it.
Right.
Yeah. No, it doesn't mean you can't have children.
I think that lowers the pool of people, because now you always hear people, oh, I have my preference. Well, your preference kind of limits you.
It does.
As to who you consider a viable candidate.
Yep.
So now you prejudging someone on their age, on their career, on their status in life, on like all that, when, okay, yeah. So what dating in my 30s have shown me is that people have a long list.
Right? They do.
A long list. And I don't know if there's a person that fits everything on your list.
Right.
Like, if you got 30 things on your list, I don't know if there's a part out there who got all those qualities.
Right, or who gonna have all that. Right.
I mean, yeah, we believe, God has seen your mate, but sometimes all we will always say is that God see what you need, the type of person you need, not the type of person you want.
Right.
So the type of person that he sends you may not fit anything on your list.
It may not fit anything. And it may be completely out of anything that you like.
So like it's some people that, yes, they get everything on your list. And then there's some people that they so stuck on their list that they miss out on good people.
Right. Right.
Like it's two sides. It's
Definitely.
It's two sides.
Definitely.
But I mean, dating your 30, it's fun because I think you're at a place in your life where you're traveling more.
Yeah.
You're hanging out more. Like you're doing more of life things. But then also it's like as the clock keeps ticking.
Yeah, and societal
And
pressures, family pressures.
The eligible bachelor pool starts to shrink.
Yeah.
You like, dang.
That's the part that
I don't want to settle.
no, you don't.
I done waited this long. I don't want to settle.
I don't.
Well, another thing I think part about being in your 30s dating, like you know yourself. Well, you should know yourself more.
You should.
You should. Yeah.
You should have at this point in time. I think you should have put. You should be putting in the work to make sure that you are whole yourself. And I think we've been listening to Fallen Lady and named Rebecca Lynn Pope, and she brought up some interesting points.
Yes.
She was talking about women have this long laundry list of stuff and all these criteria, and you yourself don't fit the laundry list.
You don't fit your own list.
Right.
So you trying to have
You want a millionaire and you're a thousandaire.
right. You can't even handle the money that you got now, but you want somebody to have all this money. No, you can't. You can't have it both ways.
Nope.
You got to have. I think the important thing is to make sure that while we are dating or while you're, looking to find your potential mate, that we're focusing on making sure that we ourselves have been healed from the wounds of the past.
Yes.
That we are, not taking any
100%.
generational curses or anything like that. That
No baggage.
all that
Yeah.
baggage, that we're addressing all those things. If we need to get help, going, getting therapy or whatever we need to do.
We
to
believe in
fix-
therapy.
Support
Absolutely.
therapy.
Like you got, I think somebody's made a point. She was like, all these women out here, they're meeting guys, and what the guys don't realize, there's so many of women have been abused, either physically or mentally when they were younger, and they're all out here, dating, and you're wondering why she acted crazy. Well, she ain't dealt with the stuff from her past.
It hurt, yeah.
And I think that happens to guys. They have trauma too. Some of them have been abused in whatever way. So, I think the one part of, yes, dating, you want to date, especially you want to find somebody that's a mate, but I think the other thing, God knows that maybe He's giving us a little extra time to make sure we get ourselves right.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think if we focus on making sure that part is right, that we're whole, that when we do meet the right person, especially at this age, that it's always the fear that we married the wrong person. That's the primary fear,
Right.
that I have and that we've shared with each other. Is like, I don't want to marry the wrong person.
Right.
So let me make sure I'm the right person first.
Right.
And as I'm going through the process and meeting other people, so that when that person I do find that person, we do get to connect and start this dating process, that we're actually going to survive, and that we'll start from the best foot to survive.
Right.
Right.
And I think that's key, is making sure that you're the type of person you want to attract.
Right.
So the qualities that you look for in someone, do you have those qualities? Do you have those characteristics?
Do you
know all the things on your list? Do you have those things that's on your list?
Are you working
Because
towards
you always hear in the dating pool. I know I'm a part of a singles group on Facebook. So in the group, I always hear the guys or people saying like, "What do you bring to the table?"
Right.
And that now in this age that because you're in your 30s or your 40s, you come to a date not necessarily how you would, almost like an interview.
Right.
Like, okay, do we even need to go on a second one?
Right.
So let's not waste each other's time. Let's hit these questions. Like, what's your long-term goals? What's your short-term goals? Like, what do you? So
to walk away with enough information. We're collecting information.
Right. And one guy was like, dang, these interview questions, to a certain extent, but it's to get to know you, to make sure that on the fundamental stuff, that we match, so that we can build upon that to grow. I think the frustrating part is that, I don't want to say you have to go through so many frauds, but you kind of got to go through so many.
You kind of do.
You got to go through the numbers. Basically, it's a number games now.
Yeah, especially with dating online, dating in these dating apps, dating during the pandemic, dating during all this. It is a numbers game. But I think when you have a clear eye, knowing what you want and knowing what you will and will not tolerate to at this age, you should already know what I'm not going to put up with. Right. So if I start seeing the signs of that, I'm going to just be like, okay, you know what? I'm not. I mean, I've had people, obviously being on some dating apps, that within this swiping, right, they start being super physical, saying weird stuff.
Right off the bat.
Right. And my classic line is, hey, I'm sure you're going to find a lot of that on here. You'll be fine. It was great meeting you. And I move on.
Right.
And most times they like, oh, okay. Because you already know, like, I'm letting you know right now, that ain't me. Right. I don't have time for that. I don't want to do that with you. I don't even want to go down that road with you. But you'll find that on this app. You just keep searching.
Right.
It ain't me.
No.
And that's just letting people know and establishing boundaries and establishing clear what I'm looking for. Even if, I've seen people say they're looking for something casual. Well, if someone says they're looking for something casual, that's exactly what they're looking for.
That's
believe what they wrote.
That's code for I'm gonna waste your time.
Exactly.
Right.
That's code for I just want you to call you whenever.
Whenever I want to.
2 a.m. booty call.
I don't want to be consistent. I don't want to hear about your day.
No, all they want to do is come over, hang out,
right,
and have sex.
That's it.
And no strings attached, no conversation.
Keep it casual.
Yeah.
No. I'm dating with purpose. I'm dating with an end goal. And if you're not, then we're not compatible.
We don't even need to have a conversation because you're not looking for what I'm looking for. And that's fine. And I think being 36
it's somebody
now,
for everybody.
I am fine with you not knowing what you want because it's just not me.
Right.
And that's cool.
Right.
Maybe 2-3 years you'd be like, oh, well, let me just try to see. No. Ain't no trying to see.
Time for that.
I ain't got no time for that.
Ooh, you just opened up a can of worms.
Like, let me just
when
see.
them old ones try and come back.
It's going down in the DM.
It's going down in the
I just had somebody send me a picture from the 10th grade and tell me, it was good times, right?
Good times. Oh, so now you're reminiscing.
Right.
It was good times.
So you're remembering how good I was.
Exactly.
But at the time, I wasn't good enough for you to keep.
To stay.
Right. Okay. Gotcha, boo.
You could have sent that 5-10 years ago.
Keep it moving. Keep it pushing.
But it was nice.
Keep it pushing.
We still good friends, though. Shout out.
Send you the thumbs up. Good job, buddy.
The double thumbs up.
Right. Good job, buddy.
And you got to stick it.
You got to stick it. Good job, buddy.
Like, that's what it is. I think, and going back to the question, I think what's fun about it, though, is when I'm in my mode. Well, I'm a Gemini, so 1 minute I'm being serious, next minute I'm like, I don't care. What's fun for me is just bothering people. Just like they act crazy, I'm going to act crazy with you for a little bit. And then I just cut you off. Because it'd be funny. Like, so you want to be stupid. That's cool. I can be just as stupid.
Right. I can go back and forth with you.
Yeah, I need a little comedic relief. Because I'm going to show it to my friends after that. We're going to have a great laugh.
We're going to laugh.
So that's what's fun. And on a serious note, it's actually when you do find 1 or 2 people that you can vibe with it over a week or two as the week's going, and then you finally meet up and you just vibe. Sometimes all of it doesn't turn into a relationship. Yes. Sometimes it turns into really good friendships.
Yeah. Or networking, people you can network.
Or networking people. Do not be afraid to turn potential romantic friends into business partners, networking, or how you can collaborate on something. And I think that's the fun part, is that I've had people that I met 2-3 years ago on Tinder, and basically we cool. We're talking about real estate, we're talking about business, we're talking about how to move forward, how to put stocks, like things like that. Like, yeah, we joke around every now and then, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a romantic thing. Right. But we could definitely do business together. Right. We could definitely do something. One of my friends just told me, hey, I don't know what we're supposed to do, but it's something we got to do together. I got to figure out what we're going to do. I'm like, hey, when you let me know when you're ready, we'll figure it out. And those are good connections that happen. Right. And I think that when you talk about the etiquette, I don't know. I mean, because I think it's one way. I've approached things one way, and sometimes you gotta flip the script.
God said it's rules to this.
He did say it's rules to this.
It's rules to this.
And we see him sliding people in, posting on people's pages. So
it's rules to this. Don't be screenshotting me.
I agree with him to it, sir. I agree. It got to be rules to it.
It has to be rules.
It has to, and I think you have to develop your own rules too.
So the thing, the common thing that's been lately is women shooting their shot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So women, you slide in the DM. Yep. If you find somebody interested, you see a page that pop up, and you find him attractive, and he's single, slide in his DM. Now, I will admit that hello. My name is Monique Abrams, and I'm a DM slider. Okay? I have slid into some DMs. I have slid into some DMs. Not all of them have proved to be fruitful. Okay?
That's a good word. Thank you.
I have been ignored on a few.
Yeah.
Okay. I have had conversations, and then it go
dead silent.
Flat.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No response.
you get the flat line sound.
Yeah.
So, and then there's some that has generated some conversations. They have generated some dates. Those dates, when you meet those people, the vibe may have been off, and so it didn't pan out or anything. But I'm not above approaching a guy that interests me, that sparks my interest. I'm not above approaching them. I just think what I found is that and maybe it's just the guys I'm approaching, I don't know. But when you approach them, it's kind of hard for them to transition into pursuing you.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Or continuing to educate the conversation. Because what I do is, once I slide in your DM, we have a couple of conversations, I fall back and wait for you to ask me for my number.
Okay.
So if you liking the conversation we having online, then ask me for my number. Now, some of them I have say, hey, let's just keep communicating via this. I ain't ready to give you my number because you said some weird stuff. So let's just keep communicating via the messenger or online.
Or whatever we're on.
Whatever we on, Bumble, whatever. But then some that I have been like, yo, the conversation is good. Hey, here's my number. Give me a call. Yeah. So let's move this offline.
Yeah.
But I think the fun part has been you start feeling yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first to admit women have egos.
Of course.
We have egos.
Yeah. Not like y'all men, but we have them.
But we have them.
We do.
So you start feeling yourself when you getting responses back and you getting all these likes and all that. Like, oh, okay.
So you do think I'm cute.
Right. Like, okay, I like this. Or, the guy that you half court shot, you respond back. You're like, wait.
Nothing but that.
You know what I'm saying? You hit that Kobe. So I think it's been fun in aspect of meeting a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Especially when you've been in a drought.
Basically.
Well, I got a question for you.
Basically.
I got a question for you when you said that. So, first of all, I'm not a different phase. I passed the dating.
You engaged.
So,
Yes.
I didn't really get online and do the apps.
You ain't had time. You got souped up.
Well, yeah, but even before that, I wasn't
That's
even,
true.
like,
Before
into
dating.
I think I got on the date Tinder one time. Went on one date and he was all right and he was nice, but he was an accountant too and he was weird and dry. So I can't be with somebody that's the same.
Two
like,
accountants should not be together.
That ain't gonna work. We too much alike. I need somebody to talk to because I'm not super talkative.
Right.
But so it was not that it was bad. He was nice and he wanted to go on the next date, but I was like no. But the other thing I want to say, so I want to ask, you said that you were shooting your shot and sliding in the DMs. How do you think guys take that? Because generally, you think of guys as the pursuer. They're the lion going out and you want them to pursue you. So how do you feel that guys are taking, you approaching them via the apps or whatever, or in their DMs?
I think a lot of them like it because it takes pressure off of them to assume that you like me.
Gotcha.
So now you have already showed interest. So now all I gotta do is come in with my Mac game. Like I ain't gotta try and talk to you or find out if you're interested in me. You already shown that interest. So now I'm just coming in and like, hey, you already into me.
Right.
So let me just give you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shoot my game to you.
And I think it depends on the guy.
Yeah.
We have friends that they slid in their now husbands' DMs.
Yeah.
And I just think it depends on the guy as what happens with them later on. So sometimes it has turned into marriage.
Yeah.
Full-blown dating and marriage.
Yeah. And then there has been some guys that I think it's just an ego boost.
Oh, it's a huge ego boost.
It's looking at it as, okay, let me just stroke my ego. I ain't gonna really respond back. I'm not gonna really put any time and effort into her. I just like that she think I'm look good.
And then as you see that happening, you fall back.
You fall back. You fall way back.
Okay, cool. That's how you feel. That's fine. And I think that's the part that you have to develop maturity in when you're doing this. Is not taking it because the dating apps are so superficial, right? It's a picture,
right?
So it's a profile. Most people don't even put a lot on their profile, but it's pictures. So the initial attraction is the picture. Then you can start talking to them if you match to find out more about them, you start learning more about them. But at the end of the day, like I can't sit here and be like it's not a physical thing. So we're all putting our best foot forward,
right?
Putting our best picture first
because it's based off a picture
to catch the eye,
yeah,
and then go from there.
Yeah.
So and then if you're doing it on an Instagram or a Facebook type thing, where you're looking at posts, you're looking at pictures, you're seeing stories, and then you're responding, you're saying something that way. So honestly, people are saying like I still want to be pursued. I mean, I definitely want to be pursued, but I get to a point where I'm just like I'm tired of wasting time.
Right.
So either you gonna say something.
It's equal. You show.
Yeah, I'm showing.
You showing them you're interested, and they keep coming.
And if they don't, then
they're moving on. Right. So they're pursuing you, but only because you're showing interest. And you're consistently. I think both parties have to be consistent.
Yeah, and I try not to. And this is where it gets tricky. When you try to show you know, I'm overly doing something, showing interest. But I'm interested because I am communicating with you every day. But you know. I'm not texting you every 5 minutes saying what you're doing.
Right.
I'm not doing that. When I don't have time for it, I got other stuff going on. And when I already forgot. So we'll talk about that on the other.
I got another good question for you. So as you're talking to the various people, as you're going through the apps and various, platforms, what are the things that you're looking for as far as how they respond, or, what are some of the initial items you kind of look for to see if you want to continue talking further? Are you looking to make sure that they're actually engaging? Are they asking questions? Or like, what are some of the first things you want to make sure that you can continue, that it's something that you want to continue to pursue?
I think I'm looking for to see how their personality comes through when we're texting, because it's a text, so you're talking to somebody through text.
True.
So if you using emojis, if you making jokes through text, I'm down, because that's what I do.
Gotcha. So,
and there's been people who didn't do that I end up talking to as well, but they still something transpired to be like, hey, they might be fun, or he, it is what it is. And
yeah, if they're joking through text, I'm laughing, or
that's it for me.
Right, then
the time in which they respond.
If they can show their personality through it, or if they can show, like, based on what industry they're in, they give you some information about that, you be like, oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know all that. And then that sparks other conversation, like, okay, I want to find out more about what you're talking about, what you see.
Because I'm going to use what's on their profile to ask a question.
Yeah,
so
that's how I slide. So rules.
Yes, rules.
Rules for sliding in the DM. Check people profiles
Please.
first. Yeah. Get a background on who they are, so when you slide in, you can ask a relevant question other than you fine.
Right.
Yeah. Or you beautiful.
They kind of already know that. And they probably already heard it for the last 35 years.
Come on. So you got to come with something else to show that, hey, I put some time into kind of researching who you are.
Right.
Because normally, if we was out on the street, you would walk into somebody, ask them their name, what they do, general conversation, or y'all would be in some type of setting where y'all could connect on something. Well, now you have to use their profile to connect with them.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that's how you start the conversation, or that's how you slide into DM.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey.
If they have on a certain hat, give y'all all my tips. But, if they have...
Help the folks out.
Okay. I guess I can't go to the grave on good information.
Now, share.
But I like sports. And so, ladies...
Like sports.
Even if you don't know somebody's name.
Know something. All you gotta do is watch ESPN.
ESPN.
They're gonna get all the highlights.
They're gonna tell
Learn
you.
1 or 2 names.
And then you can use that to ask a question.
Yes.
When they get to talking about date, sport, or whatever they like, you just, cool. Awesome. That's great. Wow, I didn't know that. And that's engaging in conversation. But if they have on something, so this one guy, that's engaging in conversation. In this picture. And I was like, take off that Laker hat. I was like, Heat and 5. I saw the Heat playing tonight. They ain't even playing the Lakers yet. But I just said, and we joked about it. So, it's kind of that thing, trying to see what they like. Hey, is that your favorite sports team? Are you a LeBron fan? Or you're a real Lakers fan? Because I'm a Laker hater. So, like, it's having that. I mean, I like LBJ, but prior to that, I still can't really root for the Lakers. It's hard for me. But I do like LeBron James. And so it's about talking to them about whatever they have going on. If they're motorcycles, or if you see them, some people do put movies or music they like, or they'll put something, they'll attach their Instagram to their profile. So you can see certain things to ask questions
Or
about.
they have pictures of their kids.
Or they have pictures of their kids.
So you ask them, how old are your kids?
Absolutely.
Or your daughter, you know what I'm saying, say something, they cool.
Or if they just say it with the grad school, I'd be like, well, what did you study? What was your degree? And what did you, if it's not there.
Right.
Because some of the apps don't let you put exactly what the degree is in. Just say if you went to grad school, postgraduate.
They kind of say their interest. So ask a question.
Use that to start conversation and to see what you're compatible on.
Right.
And for me, I have in my notes all the answers to certain questions. So what I'm looking for, my hobbies, what I do for a living, what it means, all this stuff. Like it's already so I copy paste. Ain't nobody typing this. Ain't nobody retyping this.
I do too.
I'm copy paste. Like y'all make it too difficult. I'm copying and pasting the same thing.
Because everybody. So if you talking to
multiple people,
they asking the same question. I gotta give you the same answer. Like and
the answer don't change.
And I don't want to type all this.
I'm not typing it.
So I just copy and paste.
Yep. And then they'll say whatever they're gonna say back. And my favorite one is they're like, "What are you looking for in this app? So what brings you to this app? Or what you looking for?" And I always be like,
"Well, how do you like online dating?
Oh, how's it working out for you? How long have you been on here?"
Anyone?
I got a question, fellas. Why y'all need to know how many people I met on here?
Why?
Ain't nobody asking y'all.
Or why you need to know how many people I'm talking to?
Why?
If I'm a secret tip, if I'm talking to you, you may not be the only one I'm talking to.
Exactly.
Because we're not exclusive.
Right.
You haven't solidified anything.
You ain't locked it down.
Yeah, you ain't locked.
So I gotta keep my options open.
The market
you know what I'm saying? So I gotta keep my options open.
Just like you're looking, and you're probably talking to
exactly.
Don't expect that
on and offline.
One person say something to me, and then all of a sudden I gotta stop talking to everybody.
Right. No, and that was a key point that Rebecca Lynn Pope said is that women need to start dating like men.
Yes.
And so when men have multiple options. They have this girl that's like this girl that's like that.
They building in the perfect
girl. They have multiple. Women need to start dating like that because we'll meet a guy and he'll get all our time and focus.
Yep.
When we're not his sole time and focus.
And then when he tells you he's not looking for something, he don't do it. Now your feelings are you upset, but he already told you, already showed you.
Right.
Believe them. When they tell you that they're not looking for anything serious, you're not going to change their mind. No matter if you spread it wide and lay it low. You're not going to change their mind.
Swinging from the ceiling fan.
You're not going to change their mind.
I don't care if you got a Venus flytrap that you think you got.
Okay? You're not going to change their mind.
You don't.
Because when he's ready to settle down, he will settle down.
And
but he's not ready.
Right.
So it don't matter if you the greatest girl and you have a lot of great qualities, but he's not ready to settle down.
Believe it.
Believe what he say.
That's what it is.
There's you say, oh, well, my friend, there's a small percentage of relationships where the guy say, I wasn't looking for something, but when I met her, it all changed.
It is small.
That's a small percentage because yes, it does happen. A guy may not say I'm not looking for nothing serious, and then he meet this girl and now they marry.
Right.
Yes, that can happen, but majority of the time, if he tells you he's not looking for nothing serious, don't you look for nothing serious in him.
Right.
Keep it casual.
Yeah.
Keep it friendly. Hey, y'all talk back and forth every now and then, but don't lock yourself into him.
Nope.
And look thinking he's gonna be consistent,
Nope.
and he's not.
And don't get in your feelings about.
Right, that's what I say. Don't get so emotionally invested.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you gotta. Personally, I feel like that's one of my greater qualities, is not getting too emotionally invested early on. And then because one, I don't like to be hurt, and I don't like to be disappointed. So I've built that over the years. And you could say it's not good, but it keeps most disappointment down. I've still been disappointed lately. Other things, but I try not to get too emotionally invested until things progress, until something is said, until you say, hey, look, we need to date exclusively, my girlfriend, boyfriend, committed relationship. I mean, it just is what it is. So I'm going to continue to date, talk, entertain. I may not, and see, there's levels to it. So talking is one thing. There's somebody I talk to basically every day for like a year and a half. I didn't see him, but we talk every day. Good morning, beautiful, every morning. And we had conversations. We talked about certain topics. We talked about politics. We talked about this. But I didn't hang out with him. We didn't go on dates. I wasn't at his house. He wasn't at my house. It was just one of those things. So there's levels. So there's just talking. There's the people that you actually maybe meet up with. And I still limit that. But, there's levels to it all. So to keep the pool interesting and to have, I realize that you getting certain things from certain people. So if a guy's dating multiple women or talking to multiple women, he's getting certain things from each one.
Right.
There's not all these things aren't in one. Right. And sometimes we need that too.
Yeah.
I can get this from this person, I get this from that person. So it's 2-3 people and I'm getting these 3 different things and it's good.
Yeah.
And then that's not the pressure of me having to perform girlfriend, wifely duties and all that stuff like that to you, because we ain't on that level.
Right.
We just talking.
Right.
We just kicking it, like y'all like to say. You know, we just kicking it.
Hanging out.
It's not that serious. We just chilling.
We're just chilling.
Yeah.
We're just chilling. So to get back to the rule, so another key thing with the rules is that if the reason why you copy and paste all your response is that, for me, sometimes I forget.
Of course. And you know I forget.
Key things.
You know I forget.
Of what the conversation was. So it helps
to have a little reference bullet.
Like, so, cause sometimes they be like, oh, and you said, so, I was like, oh, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I did.
And when did I
let me go back. So, if you know in Facebook Messenger, you have to scroll all the way back.
Oh my God, you have to scroll back to
read,
Never Land
like,
and see.
What did I say? When did I say that? And what was the question that he sent for me to say that?
Yes.
So it helps to have, that's why it helps to have that stuff
Prepared.
already prepared, so you just copy and paste, because you can go back to your notes and say, oh, I said this, I said that. Oh, yeah. Because with me, I know with some people I forget. With some guys, I forget key things in the conversation. And that's what it is.
It just is what it is. In the words of your president.
It helps,
it is
right.
What it is.
It is what it is. It just helps to have that stuff pre-recorded.
Readily available.
So then another rule, once y'all get past the greeting stuff and he asks you what you're looking for, be up front.
Right. Yeah.
Like, be up front. If you're looking to meet someone that hopefully is developing into a relationship and into marriage, like you want to date with purpose, say that. Don't downplay it and say, oh, I'm just looking to make new friends. No, you need to say, I'm dating with a purpose, because I've noticed into sliding into DMs that what I said I'm looking for is how they responded and treated me. So if I said that, oh no, I'm just looking to make new friends, then that's how they treated me.
Yeah.
Then we just develop a friendship, or we just, you know what I'm saying, being cool, hanging out. But when I said, oh, no, I'm looking to date with purpose, looking to meet someone to see if it can develop beyond just develop into a relationship and hopefully marriage, because I don't think it takes that long for you to recognize
and that's what I
you
say
want
in
to be
my
with
post.
somebody.
I say that in my what I'm looking for.
I say that all the time. It don't take you no years
to figure out
you want to be with somebody.
Yeah, I even
it
say
take a good 3 to 6 months.
If that,
Right.
Well, from all the guys, cousins, relatives, random friends we got, they say they know within the first couple of days.
Yeah,
if that's true, if that's true,
Yep.
then y'all been playing games all the time.
Games.
So if you saying well, like my cousin told me, we know we want to do with a girl we first meet them. We know if we just want to play around, or we know if we actually want to take time and get to know her and actually develop something with them. And I just was like, I was like, dang, for real, so y'all be knowing. And he just told me that like 2 years ago. And it's like, well, dang.
I've heard that from a lot of guys.
So if that's the case, then y'all already know. So that's why it doesn't take you long. Right. That's why I put in my thing, well, eventually I'd like to get married, but I ain't trying to rush into nothing right now. But I don't think it takes you that long to see if you want to be exclusive with someone. Yes. That's what I tell them. It don't take you that long to figure out if you want to date this person exclusively.
Yes.
Especially if you're talking to them every day.
Exactly.
And especially because how y'all be, fellas, y'all want to meet up now, especially on these apps.
Meet up.
Like, quickly.
Make sure you ain't catfish.
Exactly. And so, which is fine. You want to meet up. I see you don't want to waste time. But if that's the case, if we've talked for a couple of days or a week or two and we've met up several times, okay, now you should know whether or not you want to take the next 30 days and develop it into something else. It just doesn't take that long, especially at this age. If you're 21, maybe that's different. Right. If you're 34, 35, 40, no. It don't take that long.
It don't take that long.
I don't care what you say. My mom married my stepdaddy in less than 5 months.
Yeah. It don't take that long.
They was in their mid-30s and had both been married before, but it don't take that long.
Right. It don't take that long. It don't take that long to know that you're into someone that you... It don't take that long to fall in love.
I don't think so either. That's the scary part, though, when you start feeling them little
things. That is the fall. Like, right. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Say what it is.
Say that.
What you want. Say what you want.
If you don't take anything away from this one is that say exactly what you want, mean it, and then let your actions follow that.
Right. Figure out what you want.
Figure
first.
it out. Yes. Be explicitly clear about it, and don't be afraid to say it.
Yes.
I think sometimes as women, we know what we want to say, but then we're like, well, I don't want to say it because he may not. Then he may not be.
He may not be the one.
He just may not. You're right. He may not say no. He may not call me back. Good.
He's not the one.
I might scare him away.
Good.
Then he's not the one.
Good.
Because the one will step up. The one will like a challenge.
Yes. The one would be like, oh, okay, then.
Yeah.
You know, she mean business.
Like the one you're not gonna be able to just get rid of quickly.
No.
Right.
And when he's the one, you're not gonna be able to just discard him easily.
No.
Because he's gonna meet every challenge and he's gonna challenge you.
Right.
Okay, well, you said you wanted this, and that, but your actions showed this and that.
Yep.
So which one is true?
In the words,
Your words or your actions?
in the words of this one, this new one, where your communication didn't. You know who you are. You hear this.
Right.
Everything is about it. And it's true though. If you
Right.
say one thing but you're communicating it differently, or you didn't communicate it properly, some people gonna tell you straight up, hey, look, that wasn't, you didn't say that, or if that's what you mean what you say. You know, it's all those little things. And I think that's part of etiquette too, is say what you mean what you say.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That's part of the rules for sliding.
And
the
another
DM.
part of etiquette is don't be disrespectful.
Please don't. On both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Like if they say something that turns you off or you're offended, then just state that and block
Yeah.
them or remove them.
And just say, hey, look,
Like
I
you
didn't
ain't
know
gotta
like
go
that.
tit for tat,
No,
fussing, arguing back and forth,
It ain't even that
calling
serious.
each other names. No,
It's not
just
even
say,
that
okay,
serious.
I see we're not on the same wavelength. You know,
that's
have a
cool.
blessed life.
Yeah,
and
enjoy
keep
it.
it moving.
You know, the classic best wishes in your
Best
future
wi-
endeavors.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And keep it pushing. You don't have to be disrespectful if you're not into someone.
Exactly. We're not going to tolerate that.
That's
Because
key,
there's no
yeah.
room for that.
No.
It's not even that serious.
But then also when you slide in someone DM, once you are getting conversation going, and like you said, a lot of dudes now wanting to call you, FaceTime you.
Immediately.
They
Immediately.
try to see somebody real on the other
Right.
side. Like, wait a minute.
It's like, wait a minute, this might be a fake profile.
Right. There's a lot of fake.
That's
And
like,
it is.
Oh, snap. Y'all remember when I got hit with the
Yeah.
fake profile?
Yeah.
So it was a local boy. The guy's page was someone who was from Florida. He was in Jacksonville. So I live Daytona or whatever. So he was in Jacksonville. So he wasn't that far. But as I'm talking to him, I'm like, what he's saying he does in his life isn't matching up with this profile says
Right.
he does and has in life. So I started scratching my head like, wait a minute now, these what you saying in this profile ain't matching up. And then the fact that he could never FaceTime, he could never like video chat, I'm like, okay, something is a little
Something is
off.
off.
So like we do, women, we investigate.
We do investigate.
Okay? We
Please understand that.
We investigate.
We are Googling
You know what I'm saying? The FBI ain't got nothing on a black woman.
Nothing.
We get to work and I start investigating and pulling up stuff and doing this. I'm like, oh no.
No.
This is not this dude because this dude actually have a whole separate Facebook account.
Oh no, what is
So
you
this
doing,
one
baby?
is a catfish. So I actually messaged the real dude and told him somebody out here using your profile to catfish women and possibly other stuff. Like you may want to regulate that. I don't know. I don't know what you can do, but you might want to look into that with these fake profiles.
flag 'em.
But then, celebrities experience that all the time with fake
Yeah.
people using their profile for different stuff like that. So that's one thing you do have to pay attention is profile. When you go on somebody's profile and they don't got a lot of history to it,
Yep. Yep.
because people been on Facebook now for a good 10 years now.
Minimum.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ain't many people just get
Ain't
on.
right. No. You might got some people who might be only 3-4 years in, but still, it need to be some history. You need to be able to go back some old posts. And I'm weary. I don't slide into people's DMs who their account is totally locked down.
No. Yeah, no.
So if I can't see any of your posts, because they lock it to friend, where you can only see their profile pic,
Right.
then I'm like, oh no,
Yeah, no.
because I can't get no information about who you are.
And I need to know.
I need to know.
And how do red flags and trusting your intuition kind of come into play? Is it basically the same as you would in a real life meeting somebody? Are you still looking for the same kind of red flags or different red flags when it comes to online dating?
I think you look for the same ones, and I think you kind of see them a little sooner
Yeah.
in their conversation or on their profile. Like if you already see some weird things on someone's profile, things that you don't agree with, there's no point in you
Right,
swiping
that they
right.
post. Like
Right.
one thing, if you got any pictures with the middle finger up, you are not on my maturity level.
No. Middle finger up, gold teeth.
I can't stand to see a man with the pic with his middle finger up. Like, why you flipping off the camera? You decided to take the picture.
Right. Right.
I don't understand.
Right.
What we doing? You mad at the camera?
I didn't think about that.
What? I don't understand. Why you mad at the camera?
Yep.
You wanted to take the picture.
You did it.
Like, or when they got bills flashed all around.
Oh Lord.
No, you might not live in you living that fast money life. I ain't for that.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
If you got to show people how much money you got, then you ain't got no money.
Right.
That part. And fellas, we already know you guys take horrible pictures, so
Yes.
we give you a pass.
Yes.
Your angles.
Wipe down your bathroom mirror before you take a
We
picture.
don't want to see soap suds on the mirror.
Wipe it down. We don't want to see toothpaste. Wipe it down. Wipe down your mirror. Make sure your bed made.
In the back. Wait,
the background.
what was in the background?
In the background. Pay attention to what's in the background.
You and them.
That's why I don't like to take bathroom pics.
Oh, I don't.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't like to see shower curtains. I don't like to see. I don't like to see toilets.
Right.
I don't like to see sinks.
And I don't like to see no hair. I hate little hairs.
Yeah, so I
Drives
don't
me nuts.
like to take bathroom pics. Now there are some public bathrooms that I have taken pictures, but because they had a bomb mirror.
Right.
Like I've been in
And
some
lighting,
restaurants
yeah.
that had a bomb. That bathroom was bomb, and that mirror and that lighting had hit that skin just right. I had to capture that moment.
Yeah.
But normally, I don't take bathroom pics because I don't want to see none of that. And you need to have a nice background, a nice surrounding. Another question is, I think with the success, unattractive rappers, unattractive professional athletes,
Help us.
and in general, you know, that the levels, the dating levels that once existed no longer exist. I would like to say to people that we might need to bring them back.
There should still be levels to
There
this.
should be levels.
Still should be level.
Because
You don't
I got
know.
message. My comment to him was, "Is Weezy your real name?"
Right.
Right.
We don't do nicknames.
I don't do nickname. Like, you 40. You still going by nickname?
Nope.
Right.
So Weezy is your name?
Especially that. It's different if it's JR or it's like you're a junior or you
Oh,
something like
CJ.
that.
Yeah,
that's
different. That's
Weezy.
different.
The initials are, yeah.
But Weezy is a nickname. Just like, okay, Pookie.
Pookie.
No.
Pookie old. Pookie
Ray,
50.
no, no,
Your name, they shouldn't be still calling you that.
No.
Like, you.
I don't want to be confused by when somebody else calls you by your real name, and I'm like,
Who is that?
Who's that?
Who they talking about?
Right. Who is that? So I think because the guy, you know, I checked out his profile because he slid in my DM after I accepted his friend request, which that's why I don't accept many friend requests.
Yeah.
And they know that
This is
I don't
like
accept
that.
many friend requests.
Right.
I don't accept friend requests.
Nope.
Not unless I like, if you my friend on Facebook,
Privilege.
you're right. Because
You really are privileged.
I got some people out there on friend requests they've been on it for 10 years.
Woo!
She knows some people in real life and still won't accept their friend request.
Nope.
Nope. So I accepted his friend request because we had some mutual friends, mostly my cousins. So I'm like, oh, I might know him. I didn't, but I might. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
Somebody
oh.
I know might know him.
Because I'm the type, like, I give everybody opportunity. Like, if I blatantly tell you no, then
It's a no.
I was like, okay, I might give him a chance, but then I'll check the profile. I'm like, oh no, we not on the same link. Because one, you got my two don'ts, the middle finger and the money picture. Right? I'm like, oh no. My other third no, you smoking on a picture.
Oh my God. No, God, yes.
I prefer a non-smoker. I could do cigars every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that, but I'm not into cigarettes or weed smoking. I'm not in that phase of life.
Right.
Okay.
Neither.
Okay.
Me either.
So you got that on your pic where you blowing smoke. Yeah. That's one of your pictures on your profile. Then yeah, you probably not my type.
Yeah.
But I need you to have checked my profile
Yeah.
and by my pictures and by my posts, realize you shouldn't have never shot no shot. You should have took your ball home. You know what I'm saying? Savage.
Yeah.
You know, so you should have looked at you. It's like that meme going around. You know that meme going around like your crush, his mama, his girlfriend, his coworker, and you. You should have known. You should have never shot your shot.
You not in that
Because
realm.
you don't look like none of the people none of the women he influenced with.
None.
You know what I'm saying?
None.
So you should have known you're not my level. So I think we need to bring levels back and blame the rappers and professional athletes because they have been granted access to a caliber of woman that they normally would not have been if they didn't make millions.
Right. Yep.
And that has confused the rest of society.
Yeah, it's confused, y'all.
To think that they now have access to those type of women too. Not on that scale, but even on a lower scale. But I think we need to bring back the level.
It's time. So yeah, with that, you got some tips. You've heard us talk about it. You know, it's fun and frustrating, but so be rewarding, I think, when you do meet that person, or you do connect, or you do have that interaction that, you know, with someone and it blossoms into something else. So remember the rules of engagement.
Right.
Remember the etiquette, and be safe out there in the street. Thank you for tuning in to Me, She, and Her podcast, a guided conversation between three friends. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.